things for our Q&A today. And we will try this, and my apologies if this doesn't work. Again, having crazy technical issues. But two things. One, if you want to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, that's streamyard.com/Facebook, and give them permission, I can then see everything about your comments. I thought that a bit of transparency, I thought that had been taken care of, but apparently it's not. So without a little bit of help from you guys. So here we go. Today we're going to be talking about GoHighLevel, the client portal, and the communities. And I have not got to dive in as deep to these as I want, but like anything, whenever you have a project that you want done or something you want to know how to do, create a project that helps you out of it, because then that is the absolute best way you'll learn, especially you people that are hands-on learners, like I am, like a lot of us are, I think. So that's a real easy way to learn. That's a real easy way to figure it out. And so that can there's a lot of incentive that comes with doing that, because then you'll learn all the pitfalls real quick. Maybe you document them while you do that. And so it might be a very good way to do that. So we've got a little thing going on here that I hope is going to, I hope it's going to make that happen. So we're going to see if this, let's see if it, okay, I've got to go to that. There we go. All right. So we're going to go to the next phase of all this. Let's just make sure everything is, everything's good. The technical people are in the house now, finally. So I wanted to talk about I don't know if you've noticed in GoHighLevel, there are two new sections that just popped up. And one of them in particular, the client portal, has been around a little bit this year. It was, I think, February, March, maybe they released it. Their upgrade cycle at that point was insane. So I'm sure it got lost in the shuffle, and Sean came at me when I wasn't looking. So if you know what I mean. So they had so many things that they put out there, and in the beginning it actually had some limited functionality. You could just you could show invoices, you could show a couple of other things, because the rest of it had not come around yet. Now they seem to have gotten it more together. And so the client portal is the first one we're going to talk about. Now, why would you use something like this? Well, I mean, there's several reasons as to why, and what it's for. I mean, so it gives access to communities. That is a new thing, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Many of you probably use something like School, or with SKOOL. It's a different service that provides kind of the same idea. And many of you may use Facebook groups, and probably still will, as a backup for the connectivity that it brings to attract new people. But if you have a community that's kind of closed a little bit, that maybe it's students, maybe it's customers that you don't want, going anywhere else, or they're part of a particular webinar or some experience that you have that they've been through, the communities are a great place to put them, where you have a separate login. You can get just your content. You don't have to worry about anything else coming in from the outside. You can pour into the group as you want, and build a community from there. So again, for those who don't know, GoHighLevel, when they, and I've heard them say this many times, so this is public knowledge. When they seek to add a feature and to replace a piece of software in particular, their goal is 90% functionality. Their goal is getting that there where they replace 90% of the capabilities of what that other software does that they're replacing. They don't want to do 100% for multiple reasons. One, they probably won't get there for any number of reasons. Two, then people tend to dwell on the last 5%. Well, how come it doesn't do this? How come it doesn't do this? How come it doesn't do this? And maybe that's one or two people are the ones who really need that, versus the masses really need 90% functionality, and they're good. And that will cover any of their, not losses, but any of their things that they have going on. So the communities is a big one, and we'll delve into that some. Now, something that has been around a while is the membership courses. the e-courses, that component that's here. Just talking with a potential client here about nurturing some of this. He's in the travel business, so there are ways to there are lots of things you can do with the courses, but now the communities adds an extra wrinkle, because most of us, what we would do is set up the courses, do all that, and maybe use this, maybe use Thinkific, and then or some of the other ones, and again, the 90% functionality. So you got a course going on, and then you didn't really have any place to send to build the community around in the course. It was just a course and be done. Now communities again make that happen. So I'm spending more time on it now because it's probably more attention than it's gotten, and it's really, and we're going to spend a little bit more at the end, but it's getting there. This is a fantastic addition. The communities are to your membership courses that are already out there. Okay, for those of you doing affiliate links, that you can also get those here in the portal, as you see on the screen. So, there's and the invoice functionality. It's just a great way, and this is and the way that the login works, it allows you to add. I put this on there and I phrase it a particular way, but it doesn't do it justice, I don't think. One of the cool things, the cool potentials of this is you bring somebody on, you bring them through the sales process, right? And so you go through what it takes, and maybe you have 2 or 3 contacts with that particular person based around the sales process. Okay, so they bought. Now they're your client. Now you've onboarded them. Maybe you use you use the membership area to do that. You put them through a little onboarding course. That's what our 7 days of purpose that I've come up with is going to be about, that I'm rolling out to some people. So maybe you have done that already, and now there's more people in the company that may need access to some things. What are you going to do with them? Well, the client portal is a fantastic way to make that happen. So GoHighLevel has done that, and so then everybody gets their little login, and everybody gets their unique. Now, what I haven't experimented with enough because the support language on this isn't fully developed yet, I don't think, is getting if you've already got an existing login in the system, do you have to mess with doing this? And the short answer is I don't think you do. They treat it like if you have signed up for, they kind of treat it's 2 different hands. They kind of treat the actual login to the CRM on one hand, and then the membership area sort of on another. They have it and I haven't figured out how that's all kind of fleshed out yet. But the idea is if you have membership access, you have then community access. And so it's at least centered around that. And I don't know if they've broadened it to connect it to the larger CRM as a whole. It looks like they have, but I'm not entirely clear how that works. So where do we set this up? This is the end result. I probably should have just landed on here for a while. And yes, I lifted this from their support page. But this is in the support article about it because I didn't get mine set up as fast as I wanted to. So I'll probably have a follow-up as to where that is. So yeah, this is ultimate. And then in the top corner there are little applets that you can pull down to access different things. So you can access the communities, the invoicing, the affiliates, if this is just an affiliate portal, or the different things there where you can find that out. So this is the process that I kind of went through to do this. So to set up your client portal, you go to, excuse me just a second, you go to sites, and there's everything under the sun under sites now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but as you see at the top there. But one of them is this client portal. So you can set it up one of 2 ways. Excuse me, a little coffee in the morning here, even though it's late morning. Okay, so you can set this up in a couple of ways. You can either go to the top and so there's 2 things when you go to the client portal that you come across. One is domains and the other one is branding. And we'll talk about branding in just a minute. Some nice things you can do there. So domains, you first have to connect it. And so it lets you do this one of two ways. So at the very top, they kind of create this, if you're okay with not, if you don't want to mess with domain name, DNS information, mapping it to your domain, all that sort of thing, you can just go up there and create a little name. um, like my company is JKL Works, so I did like if I was going to do that, I do something like JKL portal, and then it's app dot. Uh, you see the address up here, clientclub.net. So app.clientclub.net. So you can do it that way here at the top. Oh, I do get a mouse. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. Or you can come down here and you can actually mess with CNAME records and A records for adding them to a particular, like I said, I tried to set up portal.jkl.works. So my main domain is jklworks.com. Okay. But then I have a kind of a working domain that was originally set up for some other purposes, for some outreach, but it's kind of become beyond that sort of a working domain. So my login to GoHighLevel is there, app.jkl.works. My login to and it just funnels back to GoHighLevel. My login for this is there as well. So portal.jkl.works will get you to the client deal. So we're filling out domain information. You have to go to your domain registrar, which you see I did here. It's Namecheap, and that's the record that I set up there that I highlighted for you, and so everything is there and good to go. So then you come back here. Oh, this is the branding. So you set up everything here in this particular deal, and then you can and then it should be mapped back if you did the domain section here at the bottom, and then everything should populate and it will be good to go at app.jkl.works in this particular case. So then we come to the okay. There's what it would look like. Okay. So this is the login screen for it. And you see I added a little bit there. My logoing didn't quite come out like I wanted because I was in a hurry. But you do have the JKL client experience. That is also needs a little bit of work, probably a little too long. As you see, it's cut off. So, but this is your login screen that they see, and then they will go to something more like that, where they can get to different aspects of what's going on. And GoHighLevel is adding a lot to this. This is customizing the login screen. So you see some of that there listed. You can add your colors. You can add a logo. You can add various types of logos as to what's there. And that's part of this is part of the branding section. I don't know why. I got those all backwards. Okay. That's what you get for being in a hurry. Okay. So the second thing you go to we already went to domains and we went through that. So the second thing you go to is the branding section. This is where not only for the login screen, but for the actual portal itself, you can specify names, descriptions, big descriptions, colors. Further down the way, there's logos. There's a background you can put in. And you can make it look really nice. And so is it all comprehensive? No, it's not all comprehensive, but it's enough to get going. So you get something that's kind of pleasing. You can do a favicon, you can do or favicon, however you say that. You can do all that, and then you can come up with different just the way this looks and feels. So this really then does become your customer outreach. This really does become your place that you can interact with them, and your clients can interact with their people, or your clients can interact with their customers. So there's lots and lots and lots of ways to do this and to use this service. So we're really happy to have it. So let's talk about communities for a second. Okay. Again, I apologize in advance because we're having trouble with I'm having trouble. It's me. Okay. It's not anybody else having trouble with the comments. So if there's a question you want to ask, go ahead and put it in the comments for right now. So I'm dealing with kind of one thing at a time of getting this set up. And then what I will do is I will go back afterwards and I will answer those questions in the comments so that everybody gets a chance to see what it's all about. And then we'll have the recording, such as it is, available for people to watch a little bit later. Okay, so let's talk about communities. I did a lot, so they add depth to your situation. So I mean, much of this is self-explanatory. Okay, so it is. It's a nice way to do some of this. What this is all around. What do you add a community for? So you add it to add depth. Not only is this more for your clients, this is more for their customers. It's something that they want to offer and something that's good for them to watch. This is a way for them to interact with each other. This is a way for them to interact with their customers. I mean, the benefits are, and you can, not everybody talks about this for some reason. I guess maybe they don't think the money's there, but you do have to structure it a little bit differently. But you could add, who's a perfect candidate for if somebody really wanted to jump into this and to go high level is nonprofit organizations. They need the expertise. They need somebody to jump in and do this, and for a reasonable fee. But they do have a little bit of money to spend. The classic thing is, well, no, they don't. They do everything for free. Well, that's not. They do where they can, certainly, but if it comes down to it and the right offer were made, they have a little bit of money to spend. But really, what they need overall for that money is the expertise, is somebody to come in and do this, because otherwise they have to rely on volunteers. But this is a perfect thing that you could do with a community. You could have training courses. You could have a community built around this. It's a closed community generally. I've not explored the links as to how far out this will let you go. Say if somebody wanted to pull in an article from social media or something, how that would work. But by the same is true if somebody wanted to share something out there on social media from the community. I would tend to think that's not possible and shouldn't be, but I don't know. I haven't really delved into that, and my setup didn't take in time to make this happen. So, but there's many things you can do around the communities that are a part of this now, because as may be obvious, this is not something that's happened all the time. This is not something that has been readily available in GoHighLevel. So really think about doing helping out a nonprofit, or doing it for some money. Maybe it's not as much money as you want, not as much money as you charge the business, or maybe it could be. It just depends on the nonprofit. But again, what they need most is the expertise. And these communities and this client login, these are great ways to do this. There are great things that you can, there's some, with a little creativity, there are some workflows you can use. There's message marketing you can get out there with them. Definitely message marketing. There's certainly a way to set up referrals, and I don't know how you would do paid referrals in that respect. Maybe you'd offer a gift card or something for referring somebody to the organization. But you could do a referral campaign. There's also building up their reputation for the local chapter, especially if it's a local organization and not a national, version of it on the local level. But still, you can do reputation for that. You can certainly do online presence, and there are many ways that you can connect them with all of that in place. You do little landing page campaigns for different fundraisers or events or different things that they have coming up. So not really to go down that tangent more than I thought, but just as I was going through this with communities, I was really thinking about that. Is what a wonderful way to do that. What a wonderful way to set that up. And you make a modest amount of money on it. I mean, you got to eat, but at the same time, you also can really help these people, these organizations who really do need that technical expertise to make that happen. So I don't think I added there's a couple more things here. Okay, this is about creating the group. So when you go to create the group, you find this under membership area. So it's a little different. So you go to memberships, and that's kind of a new section on the left-hand side now. And under memberships, it is communities. So you have communities right here, and you can create a community, and you can do many of the same things with this that you did with branding. In fact, more so, because there's probably you can have special names where they can reach. And now this, it doesn't show it here because it just has the, see if I have, it just has the name listed. But this is, remember my domain I set up before for my portal was portal.jkl.works, right? So this shows up as portal.jkl.works/groups/jkl-community or whatever I put there, the group name. Okay, so it shows up under the portal. It's under the portal piece. So all the more reason to set up the portal first and then come do the communities and build that around it. Even if all it's in your portal is the community, that's still the best way to do that and to working around. So then they can have access to everything you need them to have access to. But if it's just the community section, fine. This is a great way to grow and to build and to nurture that community. So once all the setup is done here, and this is mostly colors, logos, some text about the community itself, some things that you can add in, and then it sort of organically goes. But you have, sorry about that. And then you can, and this is the end result. So you get the end result right here. And this shows you can have multiple communities in the same place for different reasons. You can control who sees which community. Okay. So if you could have a client community, and once they log in, they see each other, the other clients, maybe if you want to do that. But then you can also have a community built out for each one of them with only their customers in it. So they can jump in and give value to their customers. So you see, we have, like a lot of social media now, you have the icon here. That's the profile picture. And then you kind of have a little banner, backdrop thing that's a little bigger. So you can go in and customize each one of these. And everybody gets their own account in this membership area. But how that works is probably a deeper dive that we'll have to do at some other point. So what I'll probably do is build this out a little bit and then have a follow-up at some point as to how that works. So kind of got in circles a little bit, but I hope this is a good opportunity for you to have a look into these two relatively new features to GoHighLevel. And again, nothing works for learning like a project. So if you even remotely think this is something you might use, if you even remotely think that this is something your clients might use, go into your GoHighLevel and set one up for yourself. That is the absolute fastest way to learn. And then once you get that going, as you have a little better experience, if you're doing that, post a video here in the group about what you did and how you did it. And actually go through the setup phases of it, if you wouldn't mind. Because as I talk to people about this, I mean, there was on Rashina Lee the other night, you may recall, but after we got off the video, the presentation, the live here, I told her what I was doing, and she's like, I want to watch that. And everybody I've talked to has been interested in this. I see posts in other groups all the time about, is there some alternative to school that is based in GoHighLevel? School's a good product, don't get me wrong. It is, obviously people have found it because it's affordable and it does what you need it to do. It is, and its only fault, if you will, is that it's disconnected from GoHighLevel if you're already in this ecosystem. But so it's a great product for that. But then if if you want to stay in the ecosystem here of GoHighLevel, these portals and communities are the way to do this. And so build those out, experiment with building those out, have a little project that you set up for yourself that's legit, that you might, use. Either, you'll use it right away, or you'll build it and then you'll later repurpose it because then the need showed up. You'll be amazed at how those needs show up. So Still working on obviously the comments. If there are any, I apologize. I will answer them after this live, and I guess that's it for right now for our Q&A for today. Not much of a Q&A. It's mostly the as in answers, not as in something else. So thank you. Appreciate every one of you watching live or coming back and watching this on record a little bit later. We're going to do some more of this. We'll be back next Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday night. And we're lining up some good stuff for you then. So I certainly hope you will join us. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for being a part of this group. Let's see some more of those introductions for people. Let's get to know you guys. There's been some of that out there and been some good questions asked. So thank you for that. And we will talk to you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.